Hi, I'm Clayton Allen, host of the Day Trading Plumber and founder of Allen FX. So every Sunday, I scan the charts and I look for trade setups. So that's what I'm making a short video today to show my subscribers and listeners how I look for trades on Sunday and how those setups turn into possible winning trades. So I started a free signal service for my discretionary trading last week, and if you want a link to that so you can follow along on Telegram, go to my shoot me an email at dtpshow@allenfx.com. Again, that's dtpshow@allenfx.com. Okay, let's get started. So here's my screen. I use tradingview.com charts. They're free. They're awesome. I highly recommend you get involved and start learning this site. So over here I have a watch list of all the currency pairs I trade. And what I'm looking for, what you're going to see here, is setups that I put on these charts last week. Now, some of those turned into trades. Some of those are winning trades. Some of those we had to cut off early, and we'll kind of go through here and we'll see a few of them. So let's look at the Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. So you can see this pair has been in a downward trend and started to consolidate here where we could see prices hit the bottom. So what I put here is a zone where I think price, if it reaches that zone again, it's going to be bullish. And once we hit this bullish zone, I'm going to be looking to buy this pair. Now, what was a great tool on TradingView is you could put one of these alerts. So once you put this alert, you can go amongst your about your day, about your weekend, and once price crosses that alert level, I'll get a text message or email, however you set it up, and I'll be looking for a buy in this zone. Or if price shoots past, breaks that zone, my analysis is wrong, and we'll have to look for a possible setup later. Another thing that's good on these charts, I'll zoom in, is you can see when news is coming out on one of these currencies that's in this pair. So you can see the Canadian dollar has a high level alert here, and these are more medium risk announcements. Some employment data, unemployment. So it's good to have these placed right here on the chart so you can see if there's anything that's going to affect this setup. So for what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for price to come back down, get into this bullish zone, and I'll be looking for a buy signal on a smaller time frame. So this pair, nothing going on. Oh, here we go. So this pair, again, Australian dollar, Swiss franc, it's been in the same downward pattern as the Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. We kind of have the same bullish zone identified, but what we have here is a possible break of this channel. So what I'm going to be looking for this week is if we move this up to this area, because now you can see price has gotten into this area and has turned multiple times right here. So what I'm going to be looking for is if this is a true break, it's probably going to continue to go up. But what I'm going to look for is a retest of this bullish zone, and then I will be a buyer. Okay, let's go to another pair. Australian dollar, Japanese yen. So you can see last week, Australian dollar, Japanese yen is in this downward pattern. It broke through, came down, kind of retested this, and then we see another shot up late at the end of the week. So I apologize for my dogs barking, by the way. So what I'm still looking for in this pair is price to come back down into this either way zone, because we had a really strong reversal area here. It didn't quite get back there. Then we had this strong push up. My guess is it may get as high as this level. We'll see what price does there. We might actually be a seller. So what I'll show you is how I do that. Boom. I have a template where I want to be bearish, so it turns it different color. Then I have text that I'll put in there. Bearish zone. And I'll go ahead and show you guys how I put an alert in. So I check price 74.120. I'll add an alert. 74.120. So I'll put a little note here. Bearish. Looking to sell. So that way when I get this text on my cell phone, I will know that this alert's telling me I want to sell here. Let's go ahead and delete this alert from last week, because what I'm seeing on this chart is we had it break through. It kind of hovered back down on this. We see this strong bullish move. Now when it hits this level, really strong turnaround here. We saw it turn there. I'm going to be looking for a sell here. Now, it doesn't mean the second it crosses this line, I'm instantly putting a sell order in. No, I'm going to be looking at a smaller time frame for a break of a trend, some Knoxville divergence, some sort of sign that it's going to respect this resistance level and come back down, possibly to here. All right, let's go check another pair. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. So you can see we were in a downward trend. We had a breakthrough. It retested that trend and then just went on this rip-roaring upward trend. Now it broke that trend, and at this strong support level, it's now starting to respect that support level. Now, what I look for in this instance is we see lots of Knoxville divergence posted on a daily. This move has already happened or may not have happened. But what I'm looking for is, let's go ahead and put another trend line on these. Price tested this new trend line and it looks like it's coming back down. So what I'm looking for here is this could possibly be a good sell area, right? We're bearish. We're bearish right here because what we have is it respected this trend. It might come down and post a new bottom. But this was on an impulse move last week. I'm going to wait for the markets to open today, see what happens with this news right here, and we might see that it continues this downward trend. Now, one thing I want to show you guys to always be cognizant of, excuse me, is the Fibonacci retracement levels. So what we have here is this long upward trend, right? Price turned, came down, got pretty close to the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement level, and has started moving up. Which, because it didn't touch it, I'm still bearish. Now, if price would have came down, hovered on this level or the 50% level, and then now is making a break back up, I would expect it to be a continuation of this upward trend, because this would just be a retracement and then a continuation. But because it hasn't touched this level, and you can see right here on this, this is a very strong level. It touched it, then continued. You have it not quite come back down and retest it here. So I'm still bearish. I'm still going to be looking for a continuation of this new downward trend. Right? So this is a good look at a possible sell trade back down to this level is a really good profit target. So let's go ahead and put that on here. Boom. And as far as a stop loss, I'm going to go above that daily high right there. And I'm going to take this profit target and I'm going to put it right on the 0.38 fib level. Okay, so now we have a good possible setup. I'm going to turn this one green over here in my flags so I know to come back to it. And after the open today and after the drama of the open gets over, probably more like 9 p.m. tonight, I'm going to be looking for price to continue this downward trend and hopefully get some good pips and profit out of it. All right, let's go to Australian dollar, US dollar. Okay. You could see last week, Australian dollar, US dollar, I had a looking to go long if price got here. And it didn't quite get there last week, and it made this impressive back up. So what I'm going to be looking for this week is if price gets all the way up to here, I like this level, I'm going to be bearish. But right now I'm in the middle of these, so I'm going to leave it alone. Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what I'm looking for. You can almost see price respects this channel very well. It made this turnaround right here where these bottoms were, came back down, tested this bullish zone. So really what I'm trying to do here is just pick areas where I think price has a high probability of turning. And this is where I want to be a seller. This is where I want to be a buyer. Let's go to the Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. All right. We are in a bearish. We're in a bearish zone, right? That we identified last week. We could see price got here, turned, got right up, all the way up here, it turned. So this is a great setup for a sell. And where I'm going to put my profit target is right here at these bottoms. Okay. So remember, this is a daily chart. So these type of moves are going to take a while. And what I'm looking for on these type of discretionary moves is a trade I could put in early in the open today on Sunday and kind of let it go to Wednesday. And they either got into profit, we're going to set a stop loss to where, you know, if we're not watching it and it shoots way up and it goes way above this setup that we're setting up here, we're out of it. We just take the loss. Now, this is going to be a pretty amazing trade if price continues to follow its normal pattern here, this wave pattern. So now we got two good looks and we're not even barely through. So I'm going to turn this one green, right? Now let's look at Canadian dollar JPY. All right, so this one blew through our bearish zone. Let's get rid of that old fib here. This one blew through this not only the trend line, but this bearish zone we identified last week. So this one's a little bit more risky, right? What I'm looking for here, it kind of respected this, shot all the way up here, come down, but it's through our bearish zone. It broke through this trend zone. So now we're either going to decide, now we need to confirm, is this a true breakthrough, retest, and continue? Or is this a false breakout, comes back down to our bearish zone? And, you know, the safer bet is if price gets back down to this bullish zone, we're a buyer. Right now, this pair is telling me we had a breakout. We don't know if it's confirmed real breakout or false. If we're just going to watch this pair in this bearish zone this week to see what is going on. This bearish zone very well might easily just turn into a bullish zone after we have some more confirmation. So let's just go ahead and call it a bullish zone now. And we're just going to see what happens. Let's go to Swiss franc JPY. All right. So again, we have our channel, pretty well respected channel. We identified this as our bearish zone. It didn't quite get there last week, so we didn't take a sell trade. Down here, let's go ahead and make that bullish. Okay, so on this pair, we're basically looking for price to get back up into this bearish zone, respect it, take a sell, or if it comes back down here to this bullish zone, we'll be a buyer at that point. Euro Australian dollar. Okay, so we have this pretty good identified channel here. We have an alert set to where if price makes back up to this bearish zone, we'll be looking to sell it. We also have an alert set here to where if it, you know, kind of dies off, comes right here, we're looking to buy. Doesn't necessarily mean we're executing that trade right away, but these are zones that we want to be in to take a look at a smaller time frame. Let's go to Euro CAD. So we actually took a trade here, and you can see it was profitable. So let's just get that trade out of the way. So price respected this channel trend. We were in the bearish zone. We took the trade right about here, and we moved all the way down into profit. And you know, there's profitable trade. I still like this pair all the way down to this bullish zone. So what I may do is look at a smaller time frame. There's a lot of news happening with this pair, as you can see, this week. So I'm going to kind of watch this one to see what happens through this news. But if we get another shot back up and see a respect of this trend line, we're going to be bearish. And I'm going to look for a sell trade up here at the top of this zone. And then if price makes its way down to this bullish zone I have identified here, I'm going to be a buyer. So let's just see if we can scrape another winning trade out of this pair this week. Let's look at the Euro Swiss franc. Okay, so you can see here we've had a downward, lots of Knoxville divergence posting on this. So the euro has been sinking against the Swiss franc, but it seems to have formed a bottom here. So last week we identified if price gets here, we're bullish. If price gets here, we're bearish. And you can see it's tested this sideways resistance here. It broke through, but is now sitting right at that level. So what this tells me is we need to be obviously looking at this pair, but on a smaller time frame, maybe Sunday night, early Monday morning, come back to it, see what price is doing in this bearish zone. Again, lots of news coming out. So what we're going to do is watch this pair, and we are going to turn it green so we know to come back to it and see if we see a break here. What's going to tell me a little bit more confidence into this trade if I see price actually get into this bear zone and break this bottom level here. then I'm going to be a seller. Try to ride this back down to this bullish zone. Okay, let's go to the Euro GBP. Whoa, look at that move. So this one obviously is getting rip-roared. It's getting tore apart with Brexit. So, excuse me. So what I'm looking for here is, if we kind of zoom out, you can see this pair is not very predictable. And it has kind of formed this bottom here. So this would be a really good buying zone. So we're going to be bullish. Don't get confused. I'll change it. So we're going to be bullish if price finds its way down here. You can see the last 2 days of last week, we had this where the British pound just kicking the euro's ass, right? I mean, fundamentally, a lot of traders or institutions are, bullish on the British pound when Brexit gets settled. And what we can see here is a really good head and shoulders pattern. So let me go ahead and put that out. So here's one shoulder. Here's the other shoulder. And here's the head. So actually, let me go ahead and actually use the tool that they give us in here. Right here. So if we start here, left shoulder, head, kind of go here, right shoulder, and boom. So it's not perfect by any means, but kind of pull this up here a little bit. Now you can kind of see it. And then now we had a break of this neckline. That's what this is called, the neckline. So what I'm going to be looking for on this pair is price broke the neckline. I'm going to be looking for a decent retracement back up to this level here. Let's just go ahead and put it on there. See the bottom of this price? If we get a retracement close to or test this line and see it going bearish again, this is an awesome trade to take all the way back down to this bullish zone. So again, let's get this level right about here, 0.88066. Let's put an alert. 0.88066. Right? Yep. And we're going to be looking to sell. This is a great lesson in how to put these in. So what I'm going to be looking for is a pullback all the way back up to this level. Look for Knoxville divergence or some sort of high probability turn on a smaller time frame. And I might ride this all the way back down to this bullish zone. But we're not entering the trade right now. We're going to let price tell us what it's going to do. All right. So let's go over here to Euro JPY. Aha. So we've had a downward channel or a downward trend. Knoxville divergence posting on the daily. And then now we kind of see this channel. But we didn't see price come all the way down to this bullish zone last week, but we did see it turn right in this mess area back up to this bearish zone, and it's respecting that level. So here I'm going to be looking for a short trade. Bam. A good profit target is right where price turned around here again. A good stop loss, give it some room. Don't be too tight. But seeing how we've already had it retest and come down, this is a good trade to look for a possible return back down. Obviously, we know the euro took a little bit of a beating last week, and that's why you saw that impressive move up, but it respected that resistance line. So now we're in a bearish zone. We're going to be looking to sell this pair. Okay, moving on to Euro New Zealand dollar. All right. So last week we identified this double top. Now it's triple topped. Let's put another star there. Now it's triple topped this resistance, and then it now has kind of consolidated in between our bullish and bearish zones. So what we're going to look for this week is for price to either come back down, test this, look at a smaller time frame, take a buy trade, or if it comes back up to this bearish zone, retest this strong resistance line here, look for a sell trade. So right now we're in no man's land with this pair. Euro US dollar. All right. So we can see a strong break of this downward trend. Now, you can see last week it got into the bearish zone and we took a sell trade, and I believe we took profit right here because I put a trailing stop on it. And, we got a little bit out of it, but then the last 3 days of last week, boom, the euro just took off against the US dollar. So let's get rid of that trade we took last week. And now that we have a pretty good break of that trend, we this channel can't be trusted much anymore. But what we're going to look for is price come back down to this bearish zone, and we'll be bullish. So now I want to switch up my analysis here. We want to be bullish in this area now, and we're going to get rid of this old. We got lots of news coming out this week on this pair, so it's got price reached up to this mess here, and we're probably going to hopefully see a retracement back down. And if price gets back down in here, I'm going to be looking to buy because of this trend line break. Price typically tends to come back down, retest this former trend line, and it become a bullish trend. If we look long term, this pair hasn't been this low in a long time, all the way back over here, which was May 2017, right? This little mess was in April of 2017. And you can see, look at what price has done at this level, dating all the way back to February 2016. Look, you could even see it going all the way back. It's respected this level multiple times, dating all the way back to February 2015. Right? So we have ourselves a very strong identified bullish area coming up. Right? So now that we had this breakthrough, it might have decided this was the bottom. So what I'm going to be looking for is it to come back down, retest this zone, and I'm going to be a buyer here. All right, let's look at British pound. British pound AUD. So this pair is heavily correlated with the euro AUD. And what I could see here, this is a good, because it was blank, we didn't do much analysis on it last week. This is a good exercise to show you how I start out looking at the pair. So you can see, it doesn't take rocket science to see that this is an upward trend. Okay? It's respecting these support and resistance levels. And what we have here is you can see a lot of mess. It consolidated, and that's about the level where it started this downward trend back in March 2019. So we could see we had a little spike up, retest. So kind of where we're sitting right now, hold on. Let's make that a bearish zone. And then right about the tops of these, where it would respect this line, that support line, I'm going to be bullish. Oh, what is going on with me today? Bullish. So you can see exactly how I'm setting these up. That's bearish. And I want to be bullish here. Okay. I'm liking bearish more because we have this other resistance line that we can see from right there. So what I would call a higher probability trade here is this upward channel. It may not get all the way back down to this level, but if we see it touch this strong resistance level in this bearish zone we got working here, I'm gonna be strongly favoring a sell trade in this area. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. If you got any questions, shoot me an email. Again, dtpshow@allenfx.com. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Okay, so now we got some analysis done on that. So I turn it yellow. GBP CAD again. We took a trade on this one last week. We got into this bearish zone, and I'm a seller until about halfway till about here. So we're just gonna see if price follows this channel. I used a little bit different tool here to do the channel than my normal lines. Okay, British pound CHF. All right, so in my copy trade account, we are in L5 on this pair, meaning Wally has taken a series of 5 trades, and they're sell trades. So what I'm looking for in this analysis is price. I put in some ghost candles here, but price has reached this bearish zone, and I'm not bullish again till the tops of this and this retest of this support level. And Wally's first trade is right about here. So what I'm going to look for this week on my copy trade master account is price to kind of consolidate in this bearish zone, look for a smaller time frame, put in a 6th rollover trade, and try to ride it down to where I think we go bullish again, and hopefully close out all of Wally's trades with a little bit of profit or break even, and then open them back up to trade this pair again. But because of this analysis, if we do get down here and I don't see a break of this, I'm going to tell them to only take buy trades until we see a break of this channel. Let's go to British pound JPY. All right, so now we had a break of this trend line. We could see a strong bottom here. Price never came back down to that bottom. So now we could assume it's starting a upward trend. Now, if there's not a lot of proof of this channel yet, but now we can start to see it's kind of forming our favorite setup pattern, this channel. but this is just way too early of a, we have the kind of a lot of a mess of price here. It respected it, but you never know. So this one's a little risky. We're going to watch it, see if it breaks through this line, and then, I want to be bearish until up here or right here. But it's a good start of a channel that we may be able to use in the following weeks to hit shorts and shorts and buys if it continues to respect those levels. Let's go to British Pound, NZD. Okay, we have some old stuff on here that I want to get out. Let's get that old trade. All right. So again, all over the place pair here. I mean, you could kind of see on far out, you got a bottom here and a strong-ish top here. Let's go ahead and put some lines. So to me, it kind of looks like we're in this sideways pattern here. See how it keeps getting up here, comes down here, up to here, and now we are forming a pretty strong double top here. Now, again, this is a daily chart, so what you're looking at here is a pretty long upward trend that started back in July, but price made this break, respected this line, so that's why we drew this line here, but now has hit this long standing resistance level dating all the way back to September 2018. So now what we're going to look for is we are bearish here. Oh, jeez. Sorry about that. Let's make sure we make it bearish. And we will be bullish here. So now this is a big distance between here. Let's go ahead and get our text in there for proper charting here. So now I see a double top form here. I'm really bearish. And what I'm going to look for on the open here is on a smaller time frame, possibly put my profit target right here where this mess of price is, and put a fairly tight stop loss. I'll give it some room, but this is an amazing trade. If we can ride this thing all the way down to where it turned, possibly even take half of the trade off and ride it down to this, that is what I'm looking for. Price has respected this level many times before. It respected it on this impulse move up. We have to be cautious because obviously the British pound is getting some good press lately, and that's why we set the stop loss. If it shoots up and stops us out, this bearish zone can easily turn into a bullish zone. But for right now, I don't see any reason. Price has respected this. It's double topped on a daily, which oftentimes is a high probability that it is exhausted. You can see we're almost to 70 on RSI. It double topped RSI here. So I'm liking this short. This will probably be a trade I take tonight or early Monday morning after I see on a smaller time frame. Let's just go ahead and check a 1 hour. So on a 1 hour, we got Knoxville divergence posting. We had it consolidate at the end of the week. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Let's even go to a smaller time frame. Knoxville divergence. It's almost just pinned to that line. Let me zoom in so you guys can see it. Zoom in a little bit. Oh man, now I'm moving my trade. Dang it. Hold on. We moved our trade here. Oh. Let's go to a smaller time frame. All right, so we got Knoxville divergence. You can see just price just keeps touching that line. So I'm a seller here. I'm a seller. I have my stop loss a little bit above this high. Give it some room. And, you know, to be really safe, take the sell after you see a break of this bottom on that smaller time frame. So if you were going to do that, you'd put your entry right there. Boom. That's a safe way to put in a pending order. Once price breaks down past that bottom level, you're in it. And you ride it all the way to those levels that we had identified here. You know, you're in this upward trend. You take it down to where if it starts to struggle across this line, take your profit. Take half of it off. And then if you see it break this line, it has a high probability coming all the way back down to this bullish zone. This would be an amazing trade if you're disciplined enough to hold this trade all the way back down. Okay, let's go British pound, US dollar. Kind of see the same thing going on here, right? We have a newly forming upward trend. Kind of have this channel growing. If we zoom out, we could probably straighten it up a little bit. Now, this bullish of a move the last 2 days of the week, pretty risky. Pretty risky to be trading it. So, obviously, it's a great time to be looking for a pullback. But this isn't one that I think is going to come all the way back down. It's more than likely going to make a strong pullback to this level. We'll see what it does there. So if I had to trade this pair, which I think I did put a small trade on, I'm bearish here. And it's a pretty tight window, but I'm bullish here. Man, I keep messing that up. Sorry, guys. Bullish. Okay. So I'm a little bearish for a pullback. See what it does in the zone. And then definitely closing my trade if it gets back to this line. This upward trend line. Okay, guys. Hopefully you guys are following along and see it. And you can see we're close to RSI. I think this move is exhausted. We're going to see a decent pullback, but this isn't one of those trades you just leave on the whole week. Let's go to some US dollar pairs. On my copy trade account, I'm in some sell trades on the US JPY. You could see last week when it hit this area of resistance, we took some sell trades. It broke through. Now it tested this strong resistance, and we have a lot of good news. Obviously, I'm already in sell trades on this pair. So what I'm trying to do is be cautious of this area, let price do its thing. If I see a breakout of this area, I'm just going to have to close those trades for a loss. But right now, I don't see any reason I should be panicking. It's tested this level. Price has a high probability to come back down, at least retest this trend line. I needed to get all the way down to this take profit, and I'll have some serious profit. because I took some sell trades last week in hopes that we got back down to this bullish zone. So, I'm going to wrap up the video. Hopefully this helps you guys. I'm going to put a link of this in the Telegram channel where I already have some subscribers to the free channel so they can kind of follow along early how I look at trades. And, if you got any comments, shoot me some comments. I'm going to do these Sunday setups every Sunday now. Try to just help traders see the markets the way I see it and, why we take certain trades. Again, I'm Clayton Allen, host of the Day Trading Plumber. If you haven't yet, check out my podcast. Get involved. Find me on Twitter. Find me on LinkedIn. Find me anywhere, any social media. I'm somewhere. So I'm glad you were watching today, and come back next Sunday. Thanks.